We're going to go ahead and get started.
No gavel today.
No gavel. Let's have a word of prayer, Kevin. Followed by a pledge of allegiance. Father, we thank you for this time that you've allowed us to come together and look at the future of our community and how we can reorganize it to benefit the citizenry that's here. Let this be done in order and just the way you'd have it done. Lead, guide, and direct us. This is not for us. This is for our children and our children's children and our children's children's children. So help us take care of them real well, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Andrew Henry, present. Scott Reynolds, present. Mike Kornman,
Present.
Jerry Sanders,
Present.
William Ellis,
Present.
Don Durnall,
Present.
Kevin Ferris.
Present.
Thank you.
Do we need to approve the minutes?
So that was actually the first thing. I left the hard copy on my printer at the office. They've all been circulated to the entire board, and I did not receive any edits back. So they are standing to be approved as submitted, but I do not have the physical copy here at the meeting.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as they were submitted electronically.
Second. Do we have a second to approve the minutes?
Oh, I thought you were saying second,
No.
sorry. Second.
Okay, the motion is to approve the minutes from the previous meeting as submitted electronically. I vote yes. Scott?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry?
I wasn't here.
Okay. William?
Yes.
So do you want to abstain or vote no, Jerry?
Abstain.
Abstain. William, yes. Dawn?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
We do have some agendas up here if anybody wants one. So the first item is to establish timelines for initial reports from subcommittees.
Question, Jerry. We previously said we were going to allow public comment at the top of every meeting, and it didn't make it onto this agenda. Do we need to amend that and allow the public comment?
I think that's up to the board, whatever your pleasure is.
I think that would be good just to open up for public comment before we get into the
Okay.
meat. So,
Would anybody like to say something from the public to get us started tonight? Okay.
All right, moving.
All right, thank you. Now to establish timelines for initial reports from subcommittees.
I will, so far I've contacted everybody that I've had contact information for on all the subcommittees. There's one person I don't have contact information for, but I see her right next to Diane today, so I will get that and get her in the loop. So then all of them have been contacted. I know some of them have, in the contact, I suggested they come to our Wednesday meetings and give kind of a status to where they are, what they need. And Mr. Perry was here today already before the meeting, kind of got some of that information he needed or how to get to it. And there was one person that I've reached out to. It was Mr. Clemens, I believe. Was that it, Mr. Perry? Yes. And do you remember does anybody know him, Michael Clemens?
I do not know him,
Okay.
but I was the one who received his information, so I will reach out to him again.
I have reached out to him because his reply was, I don't know if he can't do any of the committees or if he just didn't want to be in the parks, because it was kind of just, they were already setting a time, and I was CC'd into it. They forwarded it to me, and he said, and I've reached out to him and no reply yet. So maybe you can too.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
So. Oh, and the website's live, but it's still a work in progress. But we will have all the contact information up there. I would say definitely by Friday. I just have to get it to him.
Okay, so
matter before the committee is establishing timelines for initial reports.
Yes, so are we talking about the initial full report from the subcommittees, or are we talking about the kind of where they are progress reports? What's that?
Is it updates
Yeah,
that you're looking for, timelines for?
I think if they have something for us, they can bring it to us. But I think we ought to set a firm timeline for the initial reports.
okay.
I think it might be wise too to have, assuming that, or, at least one person from each subcommittee could attend our Wednesday meetings, it would be good actually to hear from each.
Right, and that's,
Each one?
Yep, and they've
Right.
all expressed interest in that, and I see some of them here today. So would this be a good time maybe to have them report to us where they are, what they need, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having that as a structured part of our every other week agenda would be
Right.
good. Just that way, if there's any struggles or, things that we need to be aware of, we find out
Exactly.
before the report deadline arrives.
So do we want to invite them up now to subcommittee report? It's up to you.
Well, I don't know why we have an agenda, but we're not following the agenda, so.
Well, it's not even on there,
Right.
so, so that was missed, but, I think it was kind of mushed into the established timelines for initial reports from subcommittees.
I think we need to establish that. It's establish the timeline they need to submit to us. Then the other thing, we can work on that, so.
Okay.
But I think we need to have a firm, timeline when we get this done, so.
Okay, let's discuss that then.
Well, I saw in the minutes that Baker Tilly.
Requested April 1.
Right, so I wonder if we should move back from there.
Absolutely.
When do we want the final report? When do we want drafts? When do we want just reports?
Well, if April 1 is when they need to final, I would say we need drafts definitely by the end of February.
I agree.
So would we be looking at Friday, February 27th? Last business day of the month?
That sounds good.
Yeah. And
How does that line up with our meeting dates? Would we be meeting the following Wednesday or the Wednesday just prior to that? Obviously, we can,
what's the next Wednesday after that
let's see, so
that we would be meeting?
we would be meeting 2 weeks from today was the 4th of February, then the 18th. So we would be meeting, if we didn't have a special, interim meeting, we would be meeting on March 4th, the Wednesday directly after the 27th.
So 27th sounds good to me, and then we have time to review it before our next meeting. That's the drafts. What about final report? Final draft?
Say a week later. First part of March.
And when did you say our next meeting, our meeting was after the 27th?
I think you said March 4th.
Okay, so, and are you thinking, Kevin, a week from March 4th? So,
I would think March 4th.
No.
well, we wouldn't have any chance to give them feedback yet, if they do it the 27th or the week before.
Is it a good idea, before they hand off to us on that Friday, to have another meeting that Wednesday and let them come to us where they're at,
I think that would be good.
and then they can fine tune it for a few days, and then they've got another week? I mean, in all honesty, if you wait till a week after.
I know, that's what I'm,
The 4th, and then this has to be done April 1st, that's not a lot of time.
no,
Especially with, theoretically, there's just one more meeting in there. Is that correct? So the 4th, if you got it, well, it'd be 2 more meetings. April 1st would be the second meeting from the 4th. Every 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
So the 4th is a meeting, then the 18th, and then April 1st. So if we met here on the 25th.
I
Give them a
definitely think we
week.
need to meet before the deadline.
Well, that's what I'm saying, meet on the 25th of February. Meet again on the 27th, or if that's when they've got to hand it in, do we need to be here?
No, I think they can just email it. I think emailing it to
Yeah,
us.
check or call or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not constant. And then turn them in on the 4th. Gives us,
I want to make sure I understand how everyone's thinking about how these subcommittee reports will go. What I was envisioning was if we set a February 27th draft deadline, they have to have their material to us to review. We have up to the 4th to review it, then we have our meeting, and then we could ask them to finalize their drafts by the 27th. Sorry, by the 6th. That would then give us basically 3 weeks and 2 meetings
Yeah,
to finish up everything for Baker Tilly.
I think that makes sense because we have to think, I mean, when we say drafts, we're not, I think we have to think that this is final drafts, you know, this is not rough notes. You know, it's really, this is what we are prepared to submit. That gives us a chance to reflect questions back and, you know, ask for revisions and then get essentially a, you know, a revised version with their next submission. Because then we have to then do our work of taking these subcommittee reports and compiling them. And as we established last week, or last 2 weeks ago, or last week, you know, we're not bound by every word that that is contained in the subcommittee report. So then we really have to have time to do our work. And then ultimately, from what I understand, that'll be the legal team that ends up preparing the formal report.
And then the public will have reports on everything they can look at and make their comments on too.
how long do you guys need, legal team, prepare for the state?
Well, I'd like a couple of weeks anyway, just to have time to go back and forth and get a draft that you can look at hopefully before we submit it to Baker Tilly. So we're looking at April 1st. So,
Excuse me, William, is everybody's mic on?
Yes,
We can't hear back here.
really, there's no, that's,
Hold my mic a little closer.
Thank you.
how about now?
That better?
Everybody here?
That's better.
All right. Okay, so do we want to put that into a motion that drafts are due February 27th with a final report due March 6th?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Do we want to include the expectation of just an update at each of our regularly scheduled meetings between now and then, though, just so that there is a formal opportunity, even if it's just to say, everything's going great?
Right.
It would just be good
Even
to
though that's
know.
been communicated, I wouldn't mind hearing the whole board agree to that.
I would like to have a report from each subcommittee at every meeting if possible. That would be a very
Okay.
helpful way to make sure that we're giving them what they need to do their work.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we could hear your motion, but let me repeat
Yeah.
it. So we desire a report from each committee at every meeting. Drafts are due February 27th, and final drafts are due March 6th. Is that your motion?
Yes.
So that would mean February 4th, 18th?
And do we want to clarify, those can just be verbal reports? We're not expecting
Right.
written
Right.
reports at every meeting?
And I'll address, even though there's a motion on the table, I think that we need to go to weekly meetings. I know all of us can't make weekly, but I really think we need to.
So we're going to expect the subcommittees to give weekly reports?
No.
No.
I wouldn't expect
No,
that.
but this way, there's a rolling, every 2 weeks, they can pick the dates. At least we're getting some reports. But we're here, because that way, if they can't make it on the second, it's not just for the subcommittees, it's also just for all the other information we're having to do. But anytime within those, I mean, I wouldn't expect them every Wednesday. But they probably will have something to say every Wednesday. I don't think.
If you go to weekly meetings, then let's split the subcommittees into the dates that they report. So have so
Yeah,
many on one week and then so
I think
many the
given the
next week.
choice, I don't want to micromanage and tell these subcommittees, this is your dates, this is your dates. Just, I would say that at least 2 times a month, which will still fit within their, I mean, because based on their schedules. But this just gives them more opportunity to present to us. And if they have a problem that they don't have to wait to the next meeting, then they can come, since we're doing it weekly, they can say, yeah, I know I just presented last week, but something's come up.
Something else.
And I want to
Okay. Clarify.
clarify, correct.
I'm just a little wary of leaving it so open-ended. I mean, not to put too much, work on people, but I think it would be better to specify that on the 2 particular dates that are on our current meeting calendar, that we would definitely receive a verbal report at that point, because.
That's when the public is going to be more aware too.
Right,
Fair
exactly. And also, I would just be worried that, human nature being what it is, it's just better to know what your expectations are.
That's why I was hesitant to even bring up about us meeting weekly. I just want to give more opportunities to, they can use that to present, but what you're saying, if I'm understanding it correctly, they can use that opportunity that they choose if we go to weekly, but we're expecting somebody there at least once every 2 weeks that have been advertised, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And maybe we should focus on that part, and then we can discuss the meeting cadence.
Because the motion was just for the every 2 weeks.
Yes, we have the pieces of 3 distinct motions.
Yes,
Being
that's
discussed.
right.
And we
So
need to-
I'm thinking we need to break those up myself.
Yes.
So I'll make, the first motion I'll make is that we we expect the subcommittees to send one person to report on their progress every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'll second.
Beginning on what date?
It would be the next meeting, which is,
The 4th.
yep.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the subcommittee.
If you guys could, yeah, just, we'll clarify everything here, but,
Okay.
because people at home and on cats, they're not getting these comments, so.
So I'm going to read that back to you. You would like an updated report from each subcommittee at our subsequent meetings every 2 weeks,
Correct.
beginning on February 4th.
Yes,
So
And you moved, and did Dawn second?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I vote yes. Scott?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Kevin?
yes.
Okay. And then we need to still address the draft due dates.
I'd make a motion that they've got the final draft March 4th with a preliminary draft on February 27th. Do we want to look at it on the 25th?
They're going to give us, you said a preliminary on the 27th?
27th.
So then if we can, that gives us until the 4th to look at it.
Okay.
And then it was mentioned earlier to have the final due on the 6th.
Oh, the 6th?
Correct, 2 days after ours.
So we have time to both hear public comment, talk to the subcommittee members, discuss revisions in a public meeting, and then if they need to make any changes, they have several more days to make those changes. Okay. So do we want to amend the motion to preliminary draft due February 27th, final draft due March 6th?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
Mike seconds it. I vote yes. Scott?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes,
Dawn?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Now, the third thing I was discussing, do we want to move to weekly meetings until all the reports are in?
What do you see the purpose? Help me out.
The purpose, one, gives people more opportunity to come to us and for us to answer the questions of a lot of the subcommittees that are there. I think in a situation like this, more meetings are better than less meetings. On the agenda would be mainly listening, but there's also nuts and bolts that have come up that we don't want to have to wait 2 weeks to address.
In my opinion, and I'm fine if we want to meet every week, but I also think we need time in between meetings to do the work that is required. And I don't necessarily want to have a meeting, we sit up here and
No,
nothing happening.
I completely understand. I would not want a meeting with nothing happening, but I'd like to hear from some of the subcommittees if they would, because if they're having to put all these together in a very short time frame, I don't want them to have to wait their 2-week turn to come to us and get that. I mean, it wouldn't be required, but if there's something they need.
I would think that, I mean, just my thoughts, that we will meet again in 2 weeks, February 4th, on the regular schedule. Everybody's just getting started on the subcommittees right now, so that gives 2 weeks opportunity to meet and make some initial progress.
Want to re-talk about this then?
And then, yeah, and then we get the first updated reports on the 4th,
Gotcha.
and that'll give us a real opportunity to gauge progress and how things are going. And if
I'm
at
good
that
with
point
that.
it feels like a weekly meeting would be useful, we should
Okay.
make the
Or
change
even
at that
just
point.
scheduling a special meeting, because now we have some reports, we have something to discuss.
I'm good with that.
I would also be in favor of tabling that till next meeting. I could easily see the value of meeting basically every week in the month of February, especially once the website's been up, once the mailers have all gone out and been received, because so far, we have largely the same engaged people coming to the meeting.
The postcards are out, the website's up,
Yep,
so.
those
we
take a
just-
little time to
Yes, they do, to
work.
get through I haven't been able to share it or anything yet, and I suggest all of you and anybody in the audience, when you get the chance, the town, Mike, have they posted the website yet? I don't know. Okay. So, once the town gets that up, we can share it through our own social media, contacts, emails, and then I ask everybody in the audience to look at the town website, and the township will have it also, so no matter which one we'll go to. But yeah, it makes sense. So I didn't make a motion, so nothing to withdraw or table.
So, does the committee want to hear from any of the subcommittees tonight?
I would definitely like to.
If any of them are here and have something they'd like to present, we
There's
would love to hear from them.
quite a few
Are there any
people here.
questions that you have?
Yep.
All right, would anybody from the subcommittees like to share or ask questions? If so, come up to the podium, please.
Just for clarity, what's due on March or February the 6th? That's a Friday.
Nothing.
Nothing's due on February 6th.
March,
The drafts are due February 27th. The final draft is March 6th.
okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jim Perry, the Subcommittee on Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries. Why we mix all those together, I'm not quite sure, but that's the subcommittee. So we met yesterday, and we had some uncertainty about one of our members, but we did pick out 2 dates for public meetings. One is February 5th, and the other one is February 12th. We need some facilitation, though, by the town to provide us public meeting spaces, which we don't have, and I called a couple of days ago and I left a message and nothing happened. So in order to facilitate the work of the subcommittees, we need help from the staff and somebody that is a point of contact that can resolve questions like where do we meet and what's available for our meeting. Now, we also intend to meet according to the the meeting schedule of the Parks Board with the Parks Board on February 2, just to get information from them, and I talked to Dawn Durnall before this session, but we need information about parks, recreation, and cemeteries, because it's not readily available. Even searching the web, you don't know who belongs to what cemetery. But so we need information, but we do have the two dates of February 5th and February 12th. We'll probably have a public a meeting from 6 to 7 and announce that, and announce it also at the Parks Board meeting with the town here. I don't know how we get that information through. We probably can post this on the web, I presume, which would be the other way of sort of making this public. I think it'd be useful for the subcommittees to have some template of what the report is. You're all talking about reports, but I don't have a clue, and I can imagine, having seen 6 people report previously, that we would get a disparity of the types of reports unless there's some template. Although we do have the 5 questions that were posed in the committee's designation related to the parks, but the question is, what detail do you want? And obviously, we don't want to probably provide too much detail, but we want to have detail where citizens can make decisions about information provided to them.
Eric, have you guys seen the format for the final report? So would that be a good measure of what so they're going to present you with what information you're going to need, and have that format for the reports be similar?
Would be, I think, real similar to the plan, the reorganization plan that was done by Sheridan and Adams Township. I think that's a good template. It's recent. Yeah.
If you guys could prepare something.
If it could be sent to the subcommittee members, that would be very useful.
I think it might be helpful to think of this in terms of a comprehensive plan, not a unified development ordinance, if that makes sense. So,
Doesn't make any sense to the subcommittee.
Right, I was gonna say to the subcommittees.
It might make sense to you, Darla, but not to the subcommittees.
well,
Well, if I could add, this particular subcommittee, I'd start with an inventory of the parks, an inventory of the recreation facility, an inventory of the cemeteries, just lay out an inventory of what is there as kind of the foundation of your report. And then if you have the ability, maybe opine on the age and condition of some of the facilities, kind of rank it, or where you think that stand and what future investment might look like. So that's my advice on your particular subcommittee.
If I may. So, first off, having a place to meet, you should just call me every time, okay? And I'll put it together for you. Okay. And I'll need to know the times. When it comes to information, I probably can get you any kind of information you want. I think it would be, the inventory would be interesting, and maybe an overview where one or two or the whole committee, we provide that for you to start with. Maybe attend the meeting or prior to the meeting so you're prepared to start a meeting, prepared to do that. I think for all the committees, eventually we're going to have a budget. I think the past budgets might help you if we condense them so you can see how we spend our money, and that kind of gives you an idea of what transpires now. And then the other thing I think the Reorganization Committee needs to think is we have to have 2 budgets. So we have to have the budget if this fails, and a budget if it passes. So I think to prepare a budget for if it passes, it would be good if we expedite. I know everybody's going to be excited to hear this, but if we expedite our budget process this year, usually we are finalizing it in June, maybe even in July. I think we need to expedite our budget and get most of what we would have in a budget ready sooner than later, so that the reorg budget can piggyback off it. There's no reason. Then you can plug and play anything that you want to change or add or subtract. And so, anyway, I'm just so, I think to take a little heat off of everybody thinking, where do we start? I think it's good that you get information about how we go about our business now, what our budgets are like, and, you know, obviously we'll have department heads embedded in the meetings, and I'd like to offer to be at almost all the meetings to help with that. So, but if you need information, you have a question, you want to know where you're going to meet, all those questions, I mean, I think you could bring them to me and I'll make sure they get to where they want to go.
Are you going to provide the township too?
Well, I can be a liaison, but because I work every day, you know, sometimes it's easier to get a hold of me than the township, but I,
Marty Stevens, the trustee, is the one to contact, yeah.
you can
Yeah.
contact him.
Yeah.
I think we can commit to needing a public space 2/5 and 2/12.
Okay, and what time are you?
6 to 8 p.m. We'll start at 6, and whether we get public input, I don't know, but
We lock down location. I will get that on our website.
yeah.
And I'll be having all your emails that people can contact you with questions or concerns. Mike, one thing I think that might help them, especially when you talk about costs, do we have even just a general formula for like how much it costs to manage parks? Because they're gonna need that, like if they're taking on new inventory.
Well, it's a little more complicated.
I understand that. But
I
I
mean,
think that's information they're gonna need.
Go
Would
ahead.
you agree with me?
Baker Tilly did a report and presented it November 14th. I'm not sure how many people attended that meeting, but in that report, Baker Tilly listed 2026 budgeted services and included both town and township, and then a proposed post-consolidation services. So if people would find that helpful, we can post that on the website, but that kind of gives you an idea at least where Baker Tilly thinks you may be headed.
That would be useful to post that on the website and also sort of circulate it to all the subcommittee members so that we have some common information. Now, I also have, I talked to one of my colleagues at the university, an expert in public finance, somebody who's very well schooled in SB1, would be willing to come and speak to this committee regarding the state law that brings us here. I had that conversation this evening, and he said Wednesday evenings are open, are available. He also apparently gave a talk to the Chamber of Commerce too already.
Okay. I know Baker and Tilly's has addressed that a little bit. I don't know if, I mean, this is my speculating, I don't know if it would help this committee at all, knowing kind of what it does. It's not gonna hurt, but at the same time, the reality is, we've already got a rough estimate of the finances and stuff like that, that it already reflects the reality of SB1. So I don't know, I mean, it's up to the committee, but I just don't know that information on that, I don't know if it would be helpful to us or not, because we've already had information given to us.
It's also likely that there'll be some changes to SB1 in the coming weeks.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be taken into account too, because the SB1 has been changing since the day it was first put on the table.
But I've got notes to get the Baker and Tilly report on the website and to get it to the committees. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have another question back to Darla and Eric. Is there other information that you'll need for the final report that goes beyond the questions we've given the subcommittees? like you asked about inventory, is there other information like that that you're going to need that we need to make sure that they're researching and bringing back to you? So basically, you have all the information to put everything together.
I tried when I came up with the outline to put in what I thought should be the starting points for the conversation. So I think between that and the Sheridan plan and the Baker Tilly information, I think that's a good start. And of course, there may be things that come up
Okay.
that wasn't in the Sheridan Adams Township plan or that's not in the Baker Tilly, but
Okay.
Well, and I think that underscores the value of these interim reports you're going to get. I think they'll be very instructive, and we may hear some things there we haven't even thought of.
Right, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
And I've just found out the Baker and Tilly report's currently, I mean, I've known this, but it's just been a while, is currently on the town website, and it's under the Ellettsville-Richland Township Reorganization, but I will get that link on the reorganization website too, which I just sent the link to Denise so she can get it on the town website. And you want me to send it to you so you can get on the township? Okay.
that'd be great.
Okay. Anything else, Jim?
The other implication of what Mike Farmer had to say was that we're not going to be asked to sort of produce budgets for future decisions, because I don't think that's, I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable having that in the domain of the subcommittees.
You guys really can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean-
just pointed out for everybody involved that
yeah.
that might be a path we want to take, knowing that our budget that we have to have, even if the reorganization doesn't happen, will be something that we'll be able to work off of to present the budget.
I think
To
the
the
budget
state.
would be good to kind of keep in the back of your mind in the sense that if the recommendation, let's open 5 new parks, you would realize there's no money for that. That
Right,
recommendation
yeah.
would fall on deaf ears, so.
Yeah. And that wouldn't be the subcommittee's role. it would
Right,
be the town
exactly.
council's,
It'd be the
or
new formed
townships.
council. Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
And Jim, can you email me as soon as you get that confirmed with Mike?
Okay, Mike, you're going to email me and you'll copy William? The location?
Tomorrow I'll let you
Okay,
know where you're going to
okay.
meet.
Okay.
Okay,
More than likely, it'll be here or at the DPW building out back.
okay.
You know, our third venue would probably be the,
Accessible by rollator.
yes, I understand, I'm right there with you. Would be the fire department, and then we're thinking about using the new Heritage Center too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I also looked at the library, but the library closes at 7, so
Right,
I
right,
thought
right,
that might
right.
be a nice public meeting space, but,
We have another facility not unlike that, just
yeah,
right back here. Okay.
good, thank you.
Any other subcommittees would like to report tonight? It's okay if you don't. So you weren't prepared, so
I just have something I wanted to add about the Parks and Rec.
sure.
I just wanted to say staff didn't know if any of the meetings had occurred. So I can take care of a lot of that and a lot of their questions if we're provided with the meeting dates.
Okay. And so Denise, do you want, make sure they loop you at giving Mr. Perry your email address. I know I added you on to, was it the Parks one I?
Yeah,
added?
you included me on the parks and then public safety because of the building department.
Right, so make sure that he's keeping you in the loop too, and you can be their liaison to do some of this then?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
take care of a lot.
Okay,
The place and a lot of the information that he spoke of about needing, I can provide a lot of it. And so can Jimmy.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Final call for subcommittees.
I'm Diane Critchlow, and my questions were answered primarily by his questions, but Denise is in our email. We've had trouble. I've been out of town, and my email I read today, we still don't have a first meeting date established of the number of people trying to get them together. And who, Denise is on there, who do we contact for sure? Denise said You pick the date, and I will get you a place. Okay, all right. Do we still work with Denise on that, on the place? Because Mike said he would work with the other group. Who do we work with when we do get a date, which we need to get one pretty soon?
So I told them when they set their date, then I would reserve whatever.
Right. You may not be able to find a perfect date. I just think you need
Well,
to.
I know, that was my last email before I left today,
Yeah.
was let's pick a date and let's go. And my other question is do we just randomly call on whoever we think could answer our questions? If we have questions that we are not sure?
I sure would. And if you can't get an answer, you're to call me. What I said was not for one committee, it's for all the
Okay,
committees.
so we could start with you.
Yes.
All right, that's all I have for now.
Good deal, good questions.
Do I have to sign in here again?
Nope, not that.
Thanks.
I will say, Diane, as soon as you get a meeting date, let me know, and I will get, or let Denise know. Well, actually, since I'm working with the reorganization website, let me know, but then I'll also let Denise know so she can mirror that on the town site too.
Okay, so if I just put everybody in the email,
Yes.
that'll work.
Yeah, that probably would
All
work.
right, thanks.
All right. Item number 4 is approval of contract agreement with vendor to draw maps of proposed election districts for the reorganized entity.
Unfortunately, I solicited a estimate from Banning Engineering, and I do not have it. I think William was talking to another individual about maybe preparing the maps,
And we don't have.
and we don't have that, so if you could punt that to the next meeting, I would appreciate it.
Okay?
I make a motion that item number 4, we move to the next meeting, February.
I'll second.
So the motion is to table the approval of the contract with the vendor to draw maps of proposed election districts until our next meeting. I vote yes. Scott?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
I have a question first, before we go to public comment. At the last meeting, it was discussed, but we didn't assign anything, that people on the reorganization board would participate with the various subcommittees, but that was not solidified, so I don't know if that's still the case or not.
I thought the discussion kind of said we had people from the town that would be maybe better, but that, so, yeah.
All right, okay, thank you.
But nothing's stopping us from going there and communicating.
Thank you.
It's not on the agenda, but does the board have any other business or comments or items you want to bring up?
I would like to discuss maybe having shortened meetings. I know that's not going to be in everyone's, their favorite thing here, but on February 18th, and I don't, is it the 8th? You have the dates? Yes, please. I don't
On
get 'em wrong.
18th of February 25th, March 11th, and March 25th.
Right, okay, so any of those, no, this is something totally different, sorry. So if on any of those dates we do have meetings, if we have to have an extra meeting, Richland Township Board and the Ellettsville Town Council need a quorum at a meeting at 7 p.m. with Baker Tilly for discussions of a fire territory. And so if we could have a hard stop of this meeting at 6:50 so that we can start those meetings at 7 p.m., that would be most beneficial.
What are those dates again?
Well, if they coincide with our reorg meetings, but these meetings are when we need these hard stops. February 18th, February 25th, March 11th, and March 25th.
Baker Tilly is dealing with several fire territory issues right now, and we had to be worked into their schedule. Those are the only dates that they can work us in, and we have to have those in order for this to go through.
But since we don't currently have meetings scheduled on those dates, we're just, as a precaution, saying, if we schedule onto these dates, we will have to put in a hard stop.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's reasonable, but is there a motion to make about it?
Do we need a motion for that? I wouldn't think so.
I think a consensus would be
Yeah,
sufficient.
I'm good
And then
with
if we
it.
actually move at another meeting to add meetings on those dates, we would include the hard stop in that motion at that
And we'll
point.
let the public know that would.
Cool.
Anything else from the committee?
That's been a request that I guess I should ask Mike and maybe Denise, what do we need to do to get the town Zoom for these meetings too?
It just needs to be scheduled. You just need to let somebody know you need the Zoom schedule.
Let's just say every meeting.
Okay.
I said one more thing. Are we still asking for people to serve on subcommittees?
It would not hurt.
Okay. I sent an email late to everybody.
Yes,
but
I did.
About Suzanne Harton. She was publicly interested in serving on any committee that we think is worthy of her to serve on, so.
Okay, I don't know her, so just curious, what subcommittees?
She could be on any subcommittee. I feel very comfortable. Lifelong resident of Ellettsville. Father was a town council member for 20 years, so she's been active in the community in various other forums. And I think she could serve about anywhere, really, so. Where would you at the other people the most?
Parks and Recreation?
That's what I'm thinking.
So you want to
Yeah.
bring that to the next meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, still ahead.
Anybody else?
So we're not going to move on that appointment tonight?
I think he would need to talk to the individual, make sure that that sounds good to them. All right.
I should say,
I talked to Kevin after the last meeting, and I'd like to serve on a committee, preferably either Parks and Rec or Governance, if you've got room on either one of those. I have experience at both.
okay, I thought I put you on the email list. Okay. Yeah,
I thought so too.
Valerie, I'll need your contact info after this. I'll make sure.
Any comments from the public? Hey, it's not even 7 o'clock yet. Don't we have, you want to go home early?
I'll come on, man.
Okay.
Every time we have a meeting, somebody needs to say to the general public that they need to reach out, find out what we're doing, get all the information they can. I'm glad to meet anybody or any group of people to try to explain the process, why we're where we're at, what's currently going on in the town, to help people understand why we might want to reorganize. So I just think that outreach and communications is the most important thing we do here. No matter what the vote is at the end, I think information is valuable. We're not going to be able to make a good decision unless we get, as a community, unless we get the information out there. We're going to ramp up what we do through our public relations and through the website will be helpful. And I think the whatever you want to call them, the cards or the informational cards should be out in pretty short order. I think they're just waiting.
No,
They're
out from what I understand.
Okay, good. So anyway.
Yes.
So I just think it's very important that people not be uncomfortable wanting to know information and asking questions. I think the back and forth is when we'll really get down to the hard work and accomplish something. But people have to be comfortable to ask either the town or the organization committees. They have to be comfortable to almost demand that they get the information they need to be well-educated about this. This is a big deal, and it's probably only going to be attempted once, and so I think we need to get it right.
And what's that website, William?
It is Ellettsville-Richlandinfo.org.
It got live very quickly.
Yes, it did.
Very happy about that.
And if there's information you hear from the public that you'd like on that website that's not on there, please let me know. We can get that up pretty quick.
Any other public comments? Yes.
I just had a question regarding, with the public website, answering questions and frequently, lots of people have tons of questions about what's going on. Is that information going to be funneled to the social media sites like the Ellettsville neighbor page, or is there going to be a dedicated social media site that can, because a lot of people honestly might not visit the website or, may have better access to information through a social media page that's dedicated to the reorganization process.
What I can, if the board, what I can do is create a page, a Facebook page, and as the website and link the press releases and stuff there too. Is that kind of what you're, and we can answer any questions.
And then we could, really, everybody here can share that through their own Facebook page.
It just seems like that gets the most, I see you engage with people on Facebook all the time, and I just, we want as many people as possible
Absolutely.
informed, and I just think that possibly websites, have all kinds of great information, but people may not look at it. So
I understand.
a Facebook page, unfortunately, may be the best.
I fully agree, and I'll even work with, I'll talk to Ben, the guy doing our website. I know that there's a way to automatically do feeds to Facebook pages, link the two together, and we'll work, I'll see, before I create one, I'll see if he'd rather do it, because that way he has access to all that. And did you sign in your name?
No,
Okay.
I'll
And
do
what
that.
was your name?
My name's Karina Cosentino.
Oh, okay.
I'm on one of the
That's right.
subcommittees.
Yes, nice to meet you
Yes,
officially.
nice to meet all of you. So, thank you.
Are we ready to adjourn? Do we have a motion? Would be February 4th, yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion to adjourn? I say yes. Scott?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jerry, yes?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Adjourn.